Alright guys, welcome to the 4th round of EVN Bingo. Only for this channel, VNs Now, on YouTube. It's the 4th round for NaNoRenO 2014. I am JP3rd, as always, with you for another Let's Play. This one of The One in Love. It's going to be interesting if this menu screen is any indication. But before we begin the pleasantries of changing the volume, I do this every time I get the opportunity to switch around the volume, so the familiars are aware of that procedure. Now before we begin, I do want to say that I just retweeted, it's May 5th, I just had an opportunity to retweet the trailer for Gotham. I'm watching 24. It's back on the air. It's as good as I remember it. But in between the first and second half of the premiere, we got the trailer for Gotham, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I gotta admit, not the biggest fan in the world of Arrow. I'm on and off with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but Gotham looks like it's gonna stay within the Batman tradition. It's gonna mirror a lot of the things, or be inspired by a lot of the things that Nolan did with his Batman trilogy, and just bring together a story of, you know, not superheroes and supervillains, but the real gritty, good Batman stories. It's just, you know, the mob and the other villains that it's gonna ring true, I think, because whenever you hear a Batman origin story, it's a Batman origin story, not necessarily the city. And Gotham is just as important to the Batman mythos as Batman himself is. So we're gonna see where it goes, and until then, I'm gonna get back to work. This is The One in Love, and we have fantasy and supernatural things, but not futuristic scientific. But yeah, we're going to see what happens with this one. If the hand on the robotic ass is any indication, we're in for a ride. So strap yourselves in, folks. Let's get started. Halfway through his dream, Rashad realized he was waking up. His eyes refused to open up, as if they were bemoaning the unwelcome interruption. He was dreaming of distant mornings when he was used to waking up to. I apologize, guys, between this grammar and my grammar. This may be a mess, but I will do my best. He was dreaming of distant mornings when he used to wake up, feeling the softness of the sheets and the warmth of his wife's embrace. On those magical mornings, sunlight was shining softly through his closed eyelids. Now he no longer feels the warm embrace of his wife. He's too far away from her now. So far away that even if he starts the journey back right now, he will only be able to hug her again after traveling for 6 long years. The sun itself is now so far away that its light can no longer awaken Rashad. Here, on this remote asteroid, the sun appears in the sky as any other star, as a small, distant point of white light. The light that now shines through Rashad's closed eyelids is coming from a lamp above his head. The nurse just removed the electrodes that she always uses to monitor her master's sleep. For Rashad, it's like sleeping every night on a hospital bed. Whoa. Dude has eyelids. I gotta say, I'm liking the artwork. It's not blocky and it's not anime. It's like CG art. But it's got a good feel to it. I'm liking it. Finally, Rashad opened his eyes. The plastic face of the electronic nurse is now mocking a human smile as she greets him. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Good morning, Master. The instruments are showing me that you've had a very restful sleep. Good morning, Martha. The nurse smiled again when she heard that name. Officially, her name is NR000476352722849. But Rashad, being the only human being on that asteroid, gave each robot a human name. He has also named the central computer of the spaceship, which he calls Lady Lovelace. Why is he shirtless? That's a moot point, I know, but I'm just curious about that. Yes, I was dreaming a little while ago. I always have dreams about my life on Earth. About my wife. She asked me so many times that I wouldn't come to this place. I think now is too late for regrets. Ouch! I don't know why, but every time I wake up, I feel my body strange, as if I slept for 100 years. That's normal, Master. Those are the effects of the artificial gravity, and of the gas mixture that you breathe. A certain physical stress cannot be avoided. That's why you can only stay here in this asteroid for a maximum of 6 months. 6 months. I thought they would pass quickly. Seems like I've been here for only a month and a half, but to me it's as if I've been here for centuries. Suddenly, the voice of Lady Lovelace interrupts the conversation. Good morning, Master. Nurse, if you have all your procedures finished, you can go now. I must have a private conversation with our Master now. Yes, sir. I beg your leave, Master. It's okay. You can go now. Thank you, Martha. He just looks like the devil. Okay, oh, come on. You know he looks dark with that. Just not dark, but just devilishly dark. Okay, my dear Lady Lovelace, you who is all-knowing, you who never sleeps, you who after all is true commander of this ship, tell me. Something really important has finally happened? While you were sleeping, Master, I received an urgent message from Earth. An urgent message? About the war? A message from my wife? What was his face? Please, Master, stay calm. It was a message from Rossum's Universal Robots, the manufacturer of the 3 Cyanoid robots currently at work on this station. But why an urgent message from RUR? Is there anything wrong with the robots? RUR reported they have recently identified a critical problem that may affect the performance of our robot units, Master. At least he's got a good range of expressions, I'll give him that. May affect. Of course, we are in no position to return the units for repairing now. It seems that series of robots have been equipped with a faulty microchip. It is a component which outdates technology, which still uses unmanaged code on its I/O routines. And what exactly is the potential problem? You know how these robots can be reprogrammed to perform different specific functions. Apparently, after a certain period of use, that chip may eventually cause the reprogramming routines to crash. It fails to call the dispose method for all the disposable objects after using them, causing a stack overflow. The results, although very unpredictable, are potentially dangerous. The system will have difficulty in not accessing certain routines that are vital for its proper functionality. The robot will then go into what they call a state of loss of vital extensions, or LOVE for short. I know what the artist was trying to do, but gosh, no, really. Oh God, I want someone to make a gif of that face. It may have to be me. Really? Okay, back to the story. Robot in love. Programmers can be really funny persons when it comes to acronyms. I remember when I was in college and I saw people creating acronyms for the word love. Lots of violent emotions. Look, observe, verify, enjoy. Legs open very easily. Do not say that with that face! Sorry, Master. I believe I was unable to correctly parse your last 12 words. Are they some kind of joke? Never mind. But tell me, how can a robot in love become dangerous? Am I right to presume that, like a human being, a robot in love may lose its mind and become out of control? We, machines, have no emotions. What we may lose in such situations is our logic. The enemy of all love everywhere. According to what they say, a robot in love can simply stop working. This is bad enough, but there's a worse scenario. The robot will continue working as normal, but it will eventually mix up procedures from the various roles it may have previously performed. How's that? Imagine that our nurse robot will suddenly forget what she's doing while attending you, and suddenly she starts acting like a scavenger, or a welder. Ouch. That really looks like serious trouble. She could kill you by accident, or put you in induced coma, while simply trying to monitor your sleep. Remember that the nurse robot is also responsible for controlling the gas mixture that you breathe, along with the other environmental settings, like the strength of the artificial gravity. Imagine the unpleasant surprises that the cook robot can prepare if she will forget the function she was reprogrammed to perform. Even the wife robot can become dangerous if she... Wait! I thought I'd already asked you to never refer to Judy as a wife robot. There is no such thing here. Judy is nothing more than my companion robot. I'm sorry, even in this world, that sounds weird. I already have a wife. She's on Earth, and I love her too much. I'm sorry, Master. I promise I won't say that again. Well, back on topic. RUR is asking us to send them a report on how the robots are performing. Will you please test them and pass me any results? Of course I will do it. What do you suggest me do? Should I use the standard stimulus and response test? Yes, I believe a basic set of Voigt-Kampf-Descartes tests will do. Okay, I'll do it right away. Before that though, I have something to ask. Would you show me one more time, milady? Show it to me one more time, milady? I think I cannot start a new day without Now the robot voice is mixing it up. I think I cannot start a new day without looking at it one more time. Of course, Master. Here it is. This is the latest image I've received. Oh. Earth. My planet. My home. So beautiful. So dangerous. But it is still my home. My heart beats faster when I think that my wife is there, and that all I want is to be there by her side one more time. I'm sure we will still have a happy life together. The war will have to end one day. The great crisis won't last forever. Faith. Thank you, milady. Sometimes I wonder how I found the courage to leave my wife and my planet, to throw away 12 years of my life, and to face so much danger just to get locked here inside this stupid metal box, waiting for the time to pass. You needed the money, Master. Yes, you are right. Thank you for reminding me. Put on a shirt! Rashad is now feeling a little better. For the first time in nearly 2 months, he has something to do, other than just sit around waiting for time to pass. He wasn't being ironic when he called Lady Lovelace the real commandant of the mission. He knows this is true. While Rashad was spending 6 years, enclosed in the cryo chamber, with his metabolism reduced to almost zero, Lady Lovelace guided the spacecraft to this asteroid. She took care of the full installation of the mining station, without asking for any additional human guidance. Rashad knows that all he has. Does this count as an obligatory fan service scene? Ugh. Seriously, man, why don't you have a shirt on? You're in the middle of space. Rashad knows that all he has to do here is just watch and be marveled at the perfection of the machinery work. He knows he is only here because laws that require the presence of at least one human worker in the outer space mining stations. That was a requirement of the labor unions. The widespread fear of the supposed impending domain of the machines has also helped to force the corporations to always include a human worker in their missions. The presence of a human being on a mining station actually means more trouble than help. Besides doing the hard work of extracting minerals, the machines must also take care of that frail being, keeping it alive. The machines must protect that man from lethal radiation, create and maintain a breathable atmosphere for him, feed him, create an artificial gravity gravity force compatible with human physiology, and care that his mental health won't deteriorate over the 6-month mission. So that the central computer won't have to cope with this, these functions are entrusted to a team of robots. All machines here call Rashad master, but he knows he depends on them for survival. So it's very important for him to make sure the robots aren't showing any malfunction. After sleeping, he's feeling awfully hungry, so he decides to inspect the cook first. Robot first, whatever that is. He finds her in a strange place which looks like a cross between a bar and a chemistry lab. Good morning, Master. How are you feeling today? Good morning, Nadia. I'm fine, thanks. Something here smells good. Any new surprises? I've got neither the berries of Sham nor the grapes of Yemen, but I'm always trying to reap grapes from thistles. The face is not working for me. The face is not working for me. What, are you crowing Arabic adages? Is this a hint? Let me try to guess then. Am I really feeling the smell? Am I really feeling the smell of fatted hummus? Can you feel the smell? I remember the last time you were feeling a bit nostalgic, so I thought you would like to taste some food from the land you were born. I prepared fatted hummus, falafel, and pita bread for you. Of course, I also prepared some yellow tea with mint. That's really incredible. Now I believe you really can do magic with your chemistry tricks. Thank you, Nadia. It's my pleasure, Master. Please, sit down and enjoy your food. Rashad took a deep breath, feeling the pleasant smell. Don't you smell smells? That's all I'm saying. Feeling the pleasant smell emanating from the mixture that resembled hummus, chickpea broth, boiled garbanzo beans, lemon juice, garlic, fresh parsley, paprika, and fried pine nuts. He tasted the food and closed his eyes in absolute delight. Don't open your eyes, don't open your eyes, don't open your eyes. Long lost memories started flashing inside his head. He was no more than a child in old Africa. Old Africa is North Africa, so you're talking Libya, Tunisia, that area. The Great World Crisis had already started. Life was difficult then. People were starving here and there. Adults were saying a new world war was starting. But one evening, when he got home from school, he had a great surprise. His mother was beautiful, wearing a new dress. His father was laughing, and his little brothers were sitting at the table. There was plenty of food over the table. Fruit, bread, even the roasted haunch of a lamb. Rashad thought those things could only be gifts from the blue-eyed persons who had come to visit him at school that afternoon. They were talking to his teacher in a strange language he wasn't able to understand. The teacher was smiling and gesturing towards Rashad. Those persons turned their blue eyes to the frightened boy and smiled. Rashad was very famous in his village and surrounding areas for his intelligence. Arabs and mathematics had been a winning combination for centuries, but Rashad really was a phenomenon. Why are you on a mining station in the middle of nowhere? Sadly, he had no time to taste the food he had seen on the table. Soon a car stopped in front of his house. 4 blue-eyed persons entered his home. He watched as they handed over a large sum of money to his jubilant father. One by one, Rashad's brothers gave him a hug and started to cry. His mother also started to cry as she hugged him. Then she gave him a brand new backpack. Inside the backpack, Rashad found some clothes, a new pair of sandals, some small books, a toothbrush, and soap, the mashaba, strings of prayer beads of his father, and an expensive cell phone and a shiny new tablet computer. One of the strangers took him by the hand and started to walk him to the car. Outside, the whole neighborhood was watching him, waving goodbye at him. Only then Rashad realized that they were waving him goodbye. He was put on a plane, made a long journey, and went to live in another country, in a big house where he met many children of various ages, all coming from different parts of the world. The blue-eyed persons called that house the Ark. It was there that, for the first time, Rashad saw the girl that would later become his wife. Nifa. Sorry, Master. Did you say something? Nifam, my wife. I was remembering her. She tried many times, but she can never really appreciate the Arabic cuisine. Is she Asian? Judging by her name, was she born in Vietnam? Yes, she was born in Vietnam. Why? Do you know anything about natural incompatibilities between Vietnamese people and Arabic cuisine? Snappy dialogue here, really snappy. No, but Arabic cuisine is like a spice festival. Vietnamese cuisine, on the other hand, is very delicate. I cannot blame her. She has certainly introduced you to Vietnamese food, I suppose. Yes, and I liked it a lot. Even some dishes I found very strange at first sight, like the green papaya salad. It was surprisingly delicious. It is very healthy, too. Well, I never thought about offering you some Vietnamese food. Should I do it today at lunchtime? That would be great. Thank you. I noticed having your breakfast made you feel sad. That's not your fault. I only had some sad memories of my childhood. Thank you, Nadia. You're an angel. Rashad concluded that there was no need to test Nadia. She just couldn't be working better. He just couldn't say the same about the most problematic robot, the one he was going to visit now. Okay, we're 20 minutes in. We're going to see the next robot, and we're probably going to hit the next act from there. So we're going to visit the next robot, the companion/wife robot, and go from there. At the current time, we don't have a lot of blocks here. We got the free square, of course. Romantic themes are a given, considering that this is about machines falling in love. Male protagonist. We got no event CGs. Again, this is like Hammer, where although it has a lot of good backdrops, event CGs have a very definite definition. So we got that, and we are definitely not in Japan. So, whether or not this is the creator's first game or not, I'll have to research, and I'll do that in between part 1 and part 2. Clearly, this is going to be a part 2 and maybe even a part 3. And I'm checking obligatory fan service scene. There's only one reason why a man's walking around an asteroid space station without a shirt off, and that's for the ladies. So we're going to continue on here. See our companion. Not that this robot was malfunctioning. Actually, the poor robot was all the time desperately trying to accomplish the function for which she was programmed. Awkward sentence. Which I hated the way the outer space mining stations were conceived. For starters, they were a men's-only territory. They were designed by sexist minds, and with rude men in mind. Be it simple prejudice or not, people usually think of miners as if they're all rude persons. Rashad had never been a professional miner. He was only an unemployed teacher, desperately needing to find a job, any job. The presence on the station of a wife robot, nothing more than a loving machine, something like an electronic geisha, was a shocking surprise for him. Damn. Can a brother in the weight room? Seriously lift some weights without being destroyed by his robotic prostitute? I mean, not destroyed, but annoyed. I'm sorry, but this just looks weird. Her guts are everywhere. This isn't, I mean, what kind of, I don't care how rude or misogynistic you are. How can this be appealing? Anyway, we're gonna move on because I'm trying to stay in the time limit here. Master, why did you take so long to come and see me? I feel like we had been together for the last time a century ago. Judy, please, I told you before. No need to show your joy in such an effusive manner. No need to hug me and kiss me every time you see me. You're only my companion robot, remember? No, Master. I'm not what you want me to be. I just can't be what you want me to be. Oh my god, what does that even mean? Or I should do it in a low, breathy voice. What are you doing? I can hardly breathe. Can you release me, please? Oh, Master. Let me hold you a little more. Only so you can feel how my body can be warm and tender. No need of demonstrations. I read about that on the manuals. I can't understand why you're always treating me so bad, Master. At least her face looks somewhat human. I guess that can be the appeal, but she has wires and bolts everywhere. I don't even see a potential port for that kind of thing. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I'm not treating you bad. It's only that you're not doing what I've asked you to do. I cannot also be what you want me to be. They put thousands and thousands of tactile sensors under my skin. All of them are always waiting for your caress. How can you reject me this way, without at least giving it a try? I've tried to explain it to you several times, but I don't know if you can really understand. I love my wife. She's the only one I want. I know about your wife. She's far away now. You won't be seeing her for some years. Just close your eyes. Hold me, and I will be your wife for some time. No, you cannot be her. I imagine you simply can't understand what I'm trying to say. These are human values. I can't blame you for offending me with this proposal, though. I must blame those who programmed you this way. I'm always seeing how the cook robot is happy. She was programmed to take care of you, to make you happy, and to give you pleasure with her food, and she does it very well. The nurse robot also takes good care of you, and she is always happy. Sometimes I wish I was a cook, or a nurse. This is actually, taking a break here, this is actually a good bit of writing here. You have a robot that's programmed to perform a very certain set of functions. And when you come up against something like morality, how does a robot process that? So I do like how they're taking this. I fear that we're going to end up with a robot waifu simulator, but I do like that. I like the scene. I really wish I could understand you. I went to the central computer, and we talked about you. It seemed you and I might be having a serious programming conflict. The central computer told me that human beings, when they are young, are programmed the same way we machines are. For some reason, you've been programmed to fear your desire and to try and suppress it. I have been programmed the opposite way. I wish one of us could be reprogrammed, so we could get along well. Rashad could hardly believe these things he just heard, but he knows that Judy's words make perfect sense. Chastity was an important value in his early education. Victory for the chaste! I don't know if people will be seeing this as a positive value or a negative value. You know, I'm sorry, folks. Like I said in the beginning, I'm watching 24 while playing this, and old boy just got shanked in the ear. Oh, that looked like it hurt. Okay, back to the game. Despite the popular belief that Arabs are all polygamous, that's an ignorant popular belief. I think I noticed. No. Okay, let me get off of 24. I'm a big 24 nerd. I'm sorry, guys. But that is a little ignorant to assume that others are ignorant. Most people understand that Arabs are not polygamous. It's just certain sects of certain groups. Every culture has their own thing, and the Arab culture isn't one culture, it's many cultures. So to put that in there is kind of... it's clear that the author has their own set values, but oh my god, can't tell it... The lady who plays Catelyn Stark is the main antagonist of this season of 24. This thing is going to be awesome. Okay, back to the game. That was not the tradition in the ethnic group of which Rashad was born. In his family, the men always had only one wife, and they swore to be faithful to her. Throughout his life, Rashad always respected what he considered to be the moral and religious practices. Judy called these practices programming. Maybe she isn't wrong after all. Somehow he reprogrammed himself several times throughout his life. he stopped believing in God, at least in the way God was presented to him, and in many other things he had been taught when he was a child. But now he understands that certain things he was taught remain the same after all these years. Right now he's feeling guilty because the robot's embrace was so good, and her skin felt so warm and tender. Cabin fever's setting in. The other thing that amazed him the most was discovering that a machine can talk to another machine searching for advice, and also that a machine can envy another machine. Sounds like a malfunction. Now, for the first time, looking at Judy, he can see her as an intelligent being, which may be suffering because of his rejection. I'm really suffering, Judy. I'm really sorry, Judy. There's nothing I can do. I've asked the central computer to be turned off. The answer was that it depends on you. If you give your permission, I will be turned off until the next mission. I believe it's the best thing to do, since I'm not being used. If you want to play chess, you can play with anyone else here, including the central computer. The same if you simply need someone to talk. There's only one thing that you could do only with me. There's only one thing you can only do with me. But it seems you're not interested. Please, Master, promise me you'll think about it. I'm sorry, Judy. I'm really sorry. Okay. Again, Rashad concluded that there was no need to test that robot. Okay, we're 30 minutes in. We're going to save it here. And we will pick up from this particular interrogation in part 2. See you guys then.